So here we are. Welcome to Sennelager, NaafI. This is quite strange because some things have changed and other things remain the same. The car park is exactly the same. That used to be a bank, Abbey National I think it was. This is the main way in now, and it's much smaller. But then again, it's only got the staff at Sennelager training camp to feed really. That was the main door in down there, and the shop is much smaller, but it looks like it's going to get extended. There's loads of new areas, but this is really weird. Really weird because of the amount of things that haven't changed in so much time. That's a new building. We just bought some English stuff, sausages, cereal, but no bacon, because the packs of bacon were, well, there must have been about 30 or 40 rashers. It's like a industrial sort of pack that were left, and there were about 16 or 17 of those left, so we didn't buy any. But yeah, Sennelager NaafI. Used to be a good haunt of ours. Every weekend, come and do your shopping here, and then top up at one of the local supermarkets for the stuff you could get cheaper, ironically. So around to the back of us there was the car showrooms as you go into the main drag, and then we'll take you from here and we'll take you past Sennelager training camp onto Uhrenstrasse. So now we've headed out of the NaafI and we're going to go down towards Sennelager training camp. Now, Sennelager training camp is slightly odd. The army, the British forces, withdrew from Germany many years ago now, but Sennelager training camp was left because it's a NATO camp, not owned by just British forces, so we kind of got away with that. And now we've got a number of staff. We've got a number of staff located here, like a forward mounting base, they're calling it. So they're located here with a number of vehicles that we're keeping here to do training on, really.
We go right here. Turn right.
And Sennelager training camp, I think, is on the left.
That's all the quarters, because McFadden used to live down there.
He did, yes,
and you picked me up to go out.
And that used to be a fish and chip shop ahead. But yeah, Sennelager training camp is kind of a weird one. It's like I say, it's a NATO camp now. I think we've got about 500 troops still based here for a forward presence.
The sky's not looking very nice. Like it's going to rain.
So on the right here is the sex shops and the Schnellenbiss and all that kind of business with the Sparkasse. And coming up on the left hand side is the entrance to Sennelager training camp, I think, or as I seem to remember. That's it, Sennelager training camp, main entrance. We used it quite a few times when we were. It's obviously moved now because that's boarded up, but we've used it quite a few times when we did Northern Ireland training and for various exercises, range packages, and all that kind of activity-based stuff. You know.
There's the main gate.
There's the main gate there.
Still the main gate.
Yeah, we were a little bit confused before. That was the side gate, but that was the main gate. And then down here, we used to go past a really old RAOC camp, Ordnance Corps camp. But after the wall came down, it closed down, and then the civilians used it just to store equipment.
It's still a massive camp, mate.
Still a massive camp, but it's a NATO camp, you see, so there are a lot more forces in there that are not just British, basically. Yeah. The sky is nice, isn't it? We've had lovely weather the last couple of days.
It's like it's going to pour now.
After 300 yards, turn left.
Yeah, so as we turn left down here,
Turn right.
there was a big army camp, and it was where I used to store all the furniture for the garrison, and that's where I used to work from when I was doing the pool driver, as we call it, or logistics driver for the regiment. And the regiment here was 4-5 Field Regiment of Royal Artillery.
Turn right.
I think it was on the left, but we're going to turn right here. We're going to make our way through to Uhlenstrasse, which is still quite a way. These are just the back streets you get to Uhlenstrasse. Uhlenstrasse is the place that we used to have our first army quarter.
It's our first married home.
Yeah, our first married home, and we totted it up the other day, and in 39 years service we've had 16 army quarters. 16 army quarters. I'm sure you'll all agree that's a hell of a lot. It's a hell of a lot of moving and packing and, you know, deciding where to put stuff and downsizing and upsizing throughout all those years. Wouldn't change a thing. Would not change a thing. Fantastically off. Just fantastic time really. So it's Jamie Keeling.
So Jamie Keeling, if you're watching, that was your house when you were a baby, babe.
Yeah. So when John Keeling,
Actually, did he get born here?
I don't know, John Keeling was a CO of 4-5 Field Regiment Royal Artillery, and that was his house there.
Just go a little bit further forward, then stop.
And I used to drive CO 4-5 Regiment Royal Artillery as a Lance Bombardier. Drove him for about, I don't know, a year.
And then I used to...
Sue and John, that's what it was.
I used to be a nanny for the CO that lived in that house there. And this here was the community centre. And then across the road there was the school, and to the left was the old NaafI, which is now looks like a house. I don't know.
That's the old,
Still looks like a NaafI though.
the state NaafI, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's still a school.
We're going to try and get the motorhome down the Uhlenstrasse.
You have reached your destination, Landstrasse 42. It is on your left.
Yeah.
We're going to turn right down here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Down Uhlenstrasse. Don't know how tight it's going to be down here, but we shall see.
Used to park in there. I've forgotten they had the underground.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
I've forgotten that bit. Everyone used to try and park in there.
Yeah.
Oh god, they look terrible.
I'm listening.
So I'm going to turn around and park there, okay, Shazzy?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Got
Please say that again.
plates on it.
Cancel.
Stopping voice control.
She's very, very unhelpful most of the time.
Yeah. So sadly, everything looks really run down. I mean, it was always nicknamed Uhlenstrasse, but
Right, let's go have a look round. So we were based here. We moved from Colchester in 1990, and then when 4-5 Regiment disbanded, we moved to Osnabrück in 1993, and that was during the Strategic Defence Review, where lots of my friends, including A.D. Clark and I think Shane Gardner, left at the end of 1992. A real crying shame. Some really good people. Lost some good people there, and then we regretted it later, but that's how the army works.
I remember it being bigger. Just not so so
Gabby and
small.
Daz used to live down there.
Yeah, they did.
That was ours, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were number 2.
So second floor.
Yeah, 78 at Blake 2.
And then up there was Paul and Rachel Mortimer. And we were just there.
My best friend.
And this was all military quarters, Uhlenstrasse, because Barker Barracks, which we'll take you to in a bit, is just over there. Yeah, this is great. This is not much change, and it does look a bit run down, I must admit.
There's people watching.
But yeah, fantastic to be back. Anyway, there's people watching, so I better stop filming. So before we go, Wendy's memory is absolutely fantastic. So who lived where, Wendy?
Over there was Amanda and Dave Dodson,
Yeah.
and Alan Boyd lived at the top.
Yeah.
And then the green building, not this first one, the green one was where Gabby and Daz Judd lived.
Harry Brown lived down there, I think. So we've now come out of Uhlenstrasse and we're round the back of the old barracks, and it looks like some of the buildings are still there, so let's investigate, shall we?
It looks like it's still a barracks with all the fencing.
The back gate used to be down here.
It did. With the turnstile.
Just there.
Yeah.
The old gate there.
Yeah, with the turnstile.
So that's not changed in however long, decades.
34 years.
Yeah. So now we're going to try and get into the barracks to have a look round.
My nursery was just down here.
No gun sheds are still there. How bizarre is that? So it looks like half of the barracks remains.
Well, a lot of it still remains.
Yeah, a lot of it still remains.
The accommodation's still there. The officers' mess and the sergeant's mess is still there. That's a new building. Up there, we go to the sub rink on a roller.
Yeah.
And there was some more officers' quarters up there.
So no change with the walls and the fences, all still the same. It's as if we just left. That's the 5-2 battery block there, with the cookhouse there. So let's go in and see if we can get in.
Right there.
Gonna go in.
But we used to go in up there.
There's the front. Let's try the front gate up here first. So up
Oh,
here.
look, it still says Barker Barracks.
Oh my God.
JSA Barker Barracks.
Oh my God, look. Still says Barker Barracks with a Black and Nasty. Hey, Black and Nasty tape lasts 3 years. Let's keep filming. That's where we get to. So as Wendy rightly said, this was the front gate up here. Unfortunately is closed.
Garden's still there.
So on the left there was the guard room.
Beat the horn to get access. It's still a barracks, mate, by the looks of it.
I'm going to beat the horn.
Okay. Don't speak to them.
It says beat horn for access.
Yeah, you have to go and speak to them.
He's controlled by a security company, and they were very keen not to allow us in. But this gate's open down here, so an open gate. Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is permission.
Just don't want to get locked in here.
Wow.
There's a new there used to be a...
and at the end was a travel agents.
Was the
Straight ahead.
cellar bar not there as well?
That was, yeah, Sennelager was in there as well.
The bottom. Oh, clearly it's cellar.
All these here were gun garages. We used to store the artillery
This
equipment
was
in
the
them.
sergeant's mess.
It was the sergeant's mess.
And then 5-2 battery block was it?
Yeah, the med centre was at the end here. What John O'Dwyer used to work in all the time. And that there, that she's pointed, Wendy's pointing out, is the sergeant's mess. And this road here
That was 9-4.
leads you to the 5-2 battery block.
And that was 9-4 because that's where Cookie...
That was 9-4 headquarters battery over there, where Stephen Cook,
Yeah.
Stephen Cook used to live. 5-2 battery block, eh? Nothing's changed. We used to park our cars all along there. Med centre,
Muscuri used to park his car.
Muscuri,
Down to the
yeah. Bless him, he's long since passed. Let's see how far we can get, shall we? This weather's turning.
Yeah.
Might stop there tonight, actually. They're the gun garages, so we used to store, in those days, we used to store the Abbotts in there. That was the cookhouse there, Wendy. And these are more battery blocks. 170 battery. And Shell Franks used to work in there and sell rolls from there. That was a little business they had. So we got a lot further than I thought we would. This used to lead all the way up to the back of the RHQ. And on the left hand side there you can see the garages. Again, that's where we used to park the armoured vehicles, in fact all the vehicles. We're a bit too far down for where 5-2 battery was, I think.
So just down there, there's you can't see it because of that building there. That's where I took over from Lynn Pickering, the nursery.
Oh, it's a shame we
that I
can't
ran.
get down there. We can't get down there, it's all fenced off. Maybe we can see through from when we get to inside this building here. There you go.
There you go. Oh.
That's where Wendy used to run that. At the bottom there, that was a kindergarten. Stepping back in time.
I'm shocked that they haven't done anything.
Anything, I know.
Was that not the officer's mess?
I mean, this has been left a long time. I don't know if that was officers' mess or not. But in fact, there's 5-2 battery garages just there. So these ones with the blue doors, just as you can see going down there. That was where I used to be based with the MT and also with the guns. Wendy's pointing at the cookhouse now. More gun garages out to the left hand side there. All the armoured vehicles and wheeled vehicles. So where you can see the grass growing down there, every Friday we used to have to be out with a 6-inch nail attached to a broom handle, and we have to scratch all the grass out from between the cobbles before we could knock off. And look at it now. Do you reckon we should cat up there for that?
I don't know, mate. I think
Sergeant's mess. And that's fine. Again, 525 up at the med centre at the end. And my room when I first came here was set, where you see the door is there, up 1 floor, along right 3, and that was my room as a gunner.
only for 6 months though.
Yep. And then we moved out and got married. Now the officer's mess was right at the top. This camp was split into 3. The top of the camp was a tank regiment, the bottom of the camp was a artillery regiment, and along the left hand side there was a workshops, as in a massive overhaul place that stripped vehicles down to bare nothing and then built them up again. So here we are in Paderborn. We're almost in the town centre, and it's a motorhome parking place. There's only slots for what, 5 there probably. This is actually a huge spot here. You can fit 3 in there, but it's actually lined for 2. There's stupidly I paid today, but it's a Sunday so you don't pay, so I've put €7.50 in with, and well, basically wasted it actually. I didn't read the sign. There's electricity that you pay for. That we've done that plenty of times before. You just put your money in the slot, gives you a certain amount of kilowatts, and you use your kilowatts and keep topping it up. So that's that. You don't need to use levelling chocks. I thought we would, but our choosy boiler is working on the angle, so hey, that's great. And now we're going to go for a walk around Paderborn. So for dinner tonight we're going to have Tony's Pizzas. Now Tony's Pizzas is a definite good memory that we had from our days in Paderborn. We used to get what's called a bin lid pizza and take it to the block. We've got the alarm on, we've got the cameras on, doors are all locked, so as secure as we're going to be, and also there is another motorhome there, so strength in numbers, we all know that. Yeah, so you used to be able to get a bin lid from Tony's Pizzas, and from those people of an age, do you remember the old bins, the metal bins that we had out the back of the house and before the plastic ones? Well, the pizzas used to be as big as one of those lids. They used to call them bin lids. Feed about 7 or 8 of you. So like most places, we'll have a walk into town and have a schmoots around, go and get a beer, coffee, explore and find out what's going on in Paderborn. It was nice to look around Barracks. Actually, we just left Barracks and the heavens opened. Absolutely poured down torrential rain, as you can see by the floor. But we had a good look around Barracks. Part of the Barracks was out of bounds really. It was a private security had the top end of Barracks out of bounds. Where you saw us was down the bottom end, was only half really, because it was open to a civilian company that was down there, and it being Sunday it's really quiet, so we were able to drive in, drive down, have a smooch around, catch up. But unlike Robert's Barracks, it was quite easy to remember where things were, because not much has changed.
They haven't butchered it yet.
No, and that's either because Paderborn was one of the latter garrisons to close down, or Paderborn Town Council haven't had a mind to develop it yet. But for us to look round, you know, Barracks was just great, and to see the old 5-2 battery block when 4-5 regiment was there, and Uhlenstrasse, our first ever army quarter, 1 of 16, was great as well. I love this. The nostalgia part of all this. So we've done Osnabrück with Robert's Barracks, and then we've done Barracks in Paderborn, Uhlenstrasse, first army quarter, and now we're going to go for a look round town. Probably do some more reminiscing, some more nostalgia. Like I say, when we go to Tony's Pizzas, which still exists because I've checked, then it's pizza for dinner, I think. So we're heading towards the Rat House in Paderborn, and because it's Sunday, it's quieter. And we've just been talking then, you know, reminiscing, like you do. And we were saying that we used to walk down from Uhlenstrasse, actually. So walk down into town and walk around town. We used to window shop because we, as a private soldier or gunner in the Royal Artillery, you couldn't afford much. Even on the extra pay you used to get in Germany, it was still taken by whatever life brings up. And I said nothing's changed then, really, because having spent a fortune on a house, doing all the stuff to it, and with stuff still to do to actually finish it off, it kind of feels that way now, actually. So,
and it's a Sunday.
And it's a Sunday. So yeah, as far as coming to look round, we're lucky it's a Sunday because all the shops are closed. To do some window shopping. Little ducky there, look, with a fish. Isn't this nice? When we where do we go now, Wendy? Round that way or round that way? Let's go that way.
Why ask then?
I know. I just saw the steps, that's why. So when we let me just open this up a little bit so I can get some distance on this. When we left Paderborn to go to Osnabrück, we thought the world had ended. We were absolutely distraught. 4-5 regiment had disbanded, and 5-2 battery, the battery that remained as the only formed subunit of that regiment, was made up on posting of the people with most potential and sports people. Really, it was stacked full of the, you know, it was stacked full of the cream of 4-5 regiment. And that's not saying that people that moved away weren't in that category, because they decided to go back to other regiments or take redundancy. It's life choices. We all make choices, and that was their life choice. But yeah, 5-2 battery was stacked to go to 4th Regiment Royal Artillery, and when we arrived,
4th was known for its fitness and...
Yeah. So like Wendy said, 4th was renowned for its fitness and, you know, the way it conducted itself both operationally and on the sports pitch. And when 5-2 battery arrived, well, we didn't settle in very well, because for every competition that there was in 4th Regiment, and those people in 4th Regiment will admit this, for the first 18 months we pretty much won everything.
It was like starting off being an army wife again.
Yeah.
And waiting 14 months for the wife to then go, we accept you now.
Yeah. It was quite a weird time, because military-wise we were winning most things, and even, you know, best gun competitions and things like that, because we had a lot of talent in 5-2 Battery. We were winning things, so we didn't make friends very well. But the thing is, though, if I'm honest, we didn't want to make friends at that time. We wanted to be 4-5 Regiment. We wanted to be the surviving battery that, you know, was all dominating, really. And that's what we were, and that was our attitude for about 18 months, until a time when people started getting promoted and moved on, and other people were posted in, kind of mixed things up a bit. Not watered things down, but just mixed things up a bit. And other people from other batteries in 4th Regiment were posted into 5-2 Battery, and vice versa. So it's quite a rough old time, and, you know, 4-5 being my 1st Regiment, and many people's 1st Regiment that were in 4-5, we didn't want it to disband. It was the worst decision on the planet at that time, and we were so negative, so anti-moving, that we just shunned people, basically. We were 5-2 Battery, and F everyone else. Which, having done that management role now, was a move that had to be done at the time, but probably we need to be managed to be watered down and, you know, integrated into the regiment, the wider regiment, much before 18 months, maybe 2 years. It got to the point it was actually quite embarrassing. We were just winning everything. So yeah, 4-5 disbanded, moved to 4th Regiment, and I stayed in 5-2 Battery then for a long time, until 2000, in fact, until 1999, when I went to Bovington as a sergeant for the first time as a driving and maintenance schools instructor. When I say driving and maintenance, you didn't teach driving, you taught those already qualified at driving to be instructors of those vehicles, how to instruct the driving techniques, and also mechanical engineering systems, and how to join the systems up, how it all works, and for those individuals to go back and teach drivers courses, so teach people at a slightly lower level all about driving and maintaining then the armoured vehicles. Sundays haven't changed in Paderborn. I always remember Sundays to be very quiet. I think it's time for a beer. Why not? So we've not stopped for a beer yet. I'm just passing the Rat's Keller on the left hand side there. The reason I'm putting myself in the camera and Wendy more in the camera more is because of Daniel. Daniel thinks it's better to see us in the camera more. I don't mind videoing myself. It just looks a bit weird with my arm out to everyone else. We had a regimental or battery photograph outside the Rat's house. Outside this place here. Yeah. very old town, Paderborn, as you can obviously tell. I do like Sundays though, when it's nice and quiet. I know I've said that once or twice before, but you come down here on a midweek and it's bustling. You'd think it'd be the way around, but most people stay in on a weekend. And as it's been absolutely pouring it down, then you know, people tend to stay in. But now it's sunshine, more people come out and about. So we're walking down the main street now. And Wendy's just gone off to find a cafe. We were just, you know, reminiscing. We used to come downtown and we can't remember it's whether the Blues and Royals or Lifeguards, but they were based in a camp in Sennelager, and they weren't allowed out of camp unless they're in suits. So they had to, every time, that's private soldiers up to officer rank, not allowed outside camp unless they were wearing suits. But they were so easy to spot around town, and so easy for either 2 or 3 LI to pick out and start fights with, that we were glad we were 4-5 regiment and we were able to come out in jeans and t-shirts. Right. That looks nice. Let's go there. So that was nice. But one thing we have noticed is that you can't pay by an English credit card or debit card. It's got to be a German debit or credit card. Even if it says Visa on it, Visa means English Visa, and they only take German Visa, which is kind of crazy because Visa is Visa, is it not? So if you're to visit both Osnabrück or Paderborn, bring cash. Anywhere in Germany. Wendy's quite correct. We've come across that more and more and more. It's like we're stepping back in time. You can pay by English Visa in Morocco, North Africa, and you can't pay for it in Paderborn or Osnabrück or anywhere in Germany. Anyway, that's by the by. That's the way it is.
All the way up the Bavarian Romantic Straße.
Yeah.
Couldn't pay.
No. So we're in search for cash again now. We'll call at the bank, get some more cash. But once you know, you're all right. But the first time or second time it happens, you get caught out without enough money. It's a bit embarrassing. And you find yourself leaving your wife as sort of hostage while you go to the bank.
Look, guys. Oh, it still exists in Gibraltar, in Germany.
Woolworths. Down the main street. So we've had a real good look round now, and it's time to eat. And look what we have here. Tony's Pizza. After all this time, and like I said before, this used to be a pain in the arse to park. You're not supposed to park. So we used to just pull over, dive in, order the pizza, and then go back to camp and have this bin lid pizza. So we're going to go into Tony's Pizza now and get some dinner. So that was amazing. We didn't have, because they didn't have it, the bin lids of the olden days. We couldn't have eaten a full one anyway. I don't know how we did in those days. Anyway, we had a large, so 40 centimetres. Well, probably do actually. Yeah. So we had a 40 centimetre one, which is big enough, and we kept 3 pieces back.
Mine ate 5. I had 2.
That's actually true. That is, yeah.
There's a nice little park down here.
Okay.
You remember this bit, though?
Well, we're not heading towards the motorhome now,
No,
but
no, but we can go back up.
we're heading back the roundabout way.
We can go back up.
So we're going to head to back. Well, sorry, put my teeth back in my mouth.
You've had 10 beers, mate.
I know. So we're going to head back towards the motorhome now, and watch a bit of TV, get into night routine,
And eat the rest of the pizza.
and eat the rest of the pizza. I might treat myself to another beer. Good morning. Well, this is camping am Wildsea, and this is in Sennelager, and a place called Barracks is directly opposite us. And Barracks is where we talked about yesterday, either the Blues and Royals or the lifeguards were based, and their boys and girls used to, well, predominantly boys in those days, they used to have to go downtown in suits. One of those long lasting memories that I've got. So Athlone Barracks now is getting used as like a NATO forward mountain base, so the guy at the reception says. So it must be joined on to Sennelager, the main training camp. So just up the road from here, as you sort of turn into this camping platz, I ran out of fuel in an 8-ton Bedford. I was moving furniture from one place to another, doing pool driver, way back when, as probably a gunner or newly promoted lance bombardier. And it's one of those memories I've got of running out of fuel. The fuel gauge was pretty shit in those days, not very accurate, and probably the one I had was bust anyway. That's my defence. But yeah, I ran out of fuel, so I had to go into Athlone Barracks to ask for help, and they gave me jerry cans. They actually sent one of the mechanics out to bleed the system, because you run out of diesel. That's a bad thing. You know, you got to bleed the system. And I was on my way, and the regiment never found out. Got away with that one, didn't I? So down the road is another camp called Dempsey Barracks. Now that's not such a good place to be right now. Dempsey Barracks was where 39 Regiment Royal Artillery, another old regiment of mine, used to be based, and that's now full of immigrants. And the guy at the counter says they are continuously calling the coppers out for fights and skirmishes, and just to arrest people for doing robberies and things like that. So we're going to drive past Dempsey Barracks tomorrow, which is a real, Dempsey Barracks was fantastic, self-contained. 39 Regiment had been there for years and years, and then they moved back to Albemarle Barracks up in Newcastle, which was another fantastic location, by the way. But yeah, Dempsey Barracks, they were there for years. Such a shame it had to go to what it is today. We'll have a drive-by tomorrow when we leave, on the way out, and we'll have a look at Dempsey Barracks. So today's an admin day. It's got to the stage where the bedding needs washing. We've got a sack full of washing to do. The motorhome's in pretty shoddy state inside, and I've got to look at engine oil and cleaning the cab down, charging things up, editing videos, because we're plugged into the mains now. That's a laundry hut over there. There's only one machine, so we're going to do probably 2 washes actually, and then put a washing line up, get all the drying done, put it all away, ready for the next stage. And the next stage is going down the Rhine. We'll probably drive from here to Cologne, and I'll stay on the outskirts of Cologne, ready to start the Rhine. We're only doing 100 miles of the Rhine, because we've probably chose the best 100 miles from Cologne down to Rudisheim, and then we're going to head towards Calais from Rudisheim. So we've got the ferry booked now. Like I said, I think I've told you before, 31st of July. It's all booked, so we'll be there get home, and then a week later I've got the plasterers in to finish off the extension. So back to DIY. I think Wendy's just cleaning the bathroom. I'm staying out of the way. Wendy cleans the bathroom, I do the cab, both do the washing. There's a family next door. When they've gone, I'll put a washing line up there. Quite a nice little campsite actually. I mean, there's a lot of permanent residents on here, as you can tell. But there's this little grassy bit. I hope it doesn't rain like it did yesterday. If it pours down like it did yesterday, then I'm hoping this ground is sturdy enough to not allow us to bog in. Toilets are close by, fresh water. I'm not quite sure about grey water, but then again, when we're empty with grey water. We've only got a little bit of washing water, and then we'll be off. So, from Wild Sea camping location, and an admin day, maybe the last admin day we do on this trip. We're going to shoot off and get things sorted out. This is Dempsey Barracks on the right hand side. Dempsey Barracks is where 39 Regiment Royal Artillery, another regiment of mine that was here from 1960 to 1995. Then they went back to Newcastle.
It's all open. There's loads of people living in the blocks.
It's an immigration camp.
Yeah. Switch to side lights.
When they first moved here, they had a weapon system called Honest John. It seemed like a long time ago to most people. I'm not going to go and drive in because
well, there's barriers there anyway.
There's barriers there, and also the guy that at the campsite said you should really keep away because they could be quite a hostile gang. So yeah, 39 Regiment Royal Artillery. I remember them being based here, Dempsey Barracks, with their MLRS, multiple launch rocket system. Nothing's changed in there because, like I say, they're using it as a camp for the vulnerable people and for immigration purposes. I only went in there once or twice.
Turn left, Sennelager.
Just to pick up some kit or move stuff around. We kept ourselves to ourselves when we were 4-5 Regiment was in Paderborn.
Turn left.
But now we're going to head to Cologne. It's about 100 odd miles, 120 miles. Take our time getting there, and then tomorrow start our route down the Rhine. So without further ado, and having had loads and loads of good memories, it's goodbye from Paderborn and Sennelager.